It's time to stitch the flag block on our Prim quilt. The flag block is on page 17. I have my background fabric and my applique fabrics, and they have been backed with feasible interfacing, and I have my batting. In the directions, fabric II is for the flag as well as the angel blocks. I am using two different fabrics, so I will use the white for the flag block and then put the remaining piece back with my applique fabrics. Let's get started on stitching the flag block. I'm ready to start the flag block, and I've opened my USB, and I need to go to my combined files folder and choose the first block, which is the flag block. I am going to hit set, and I need to change my hoop. I am going to be using my 9x9, and I'm going to select embroidery. Now I do have my stabilizer still attached to the roll, and it's coming off the front of my hoop so that my roll can sit on my desk. And so I am going to go to layout and move, and even though it's just a little bit, I am going to bump this all the way to the top, and that just helps save. I'll select OK, and then I like to stitch on the minus plus needle screen, and I'll stitch the placement for the batting. I'll place my batting that is larger than the placement line. I will tack the batting down, and again, I will have to manually stop my machine after it tacks the batting down so that I can add my fabric. When I cut my batting, I ended up cutting it about the same size as my fabric. So I just am going to place this over. I've sprayed a little bit of the back. And again, I am not trimming this batting yet. I will do that at the end with my great new trimmer. So I will just place this over, and it will do the tack down, and then I will go right into the background quilting. The next few steps are for the applique fabric for the flag and the beehive. I will run with this same tan thread the placement lines. I will place the fabric, tack it down and trim it, and then the remainder of the block will be all embroidery. Now I'm not going to trim this whole thing yet, but I think the beehive goes up and it's going to do the tack down. So I am just going to trim this away just so that I don't run it over, and then I'll take it out and trim both at the same time. I want to note that with the Lori Holt tack down of applique pieces, you can see two distinct tack down lines, and that is not a mistake. They talk about that they have that there so that if when you're trimming your applique fabric, you accidentally cut this outside stitching, you still have a inside stitching that will hold it down. The first time I saw when I did my Lori Holt hometown, I was surprised. I thought maybe something had gotten bumped out of place, but that's how Lori Holt does her tack down. All right, so I'm going to run the placement for the beehive and then tack it down, and we'll trim both pieces of fabric. Now the directions do say to trim after the tack down of the flag before moving on. I just waited so that I wouldn't have to take my hoop in and out and just do it all at the same time, other than just having to cut that little piece that was super close. It might have been okay, but I didn't want to risk it. All right, so I'm going to trim these up, and then we're going to start on all the great embroidery. done stitching around the appliques, and it started next on, of course, all of the embroidery, and it started with the bee, and I think I'm going to stitch over this bee with a lighter color. Probably with my fabric, I should have maybe switched the light outline for this Dijon color and then done the bee body in the lighter color, because it really doesn't stand out against this golden. It's kind of the same value. So I am going to try a different thread that is not on my list. I'm just going to use it for this bee, and it is cornflower, and it's a little brighter than the Dijon. Here's what I just used for the bee, and you can see it blends in. So I'm hoping that this, will set the bee off a little bit, because there's no other outline to define that. This is what the outside of the beehive is stitched with, which I was going to use first, but then I thought maybe I'll even go brighter so it's a little different. So I'm going to try it. I think either way, it's probably will be a little bit better, because this, I think, just blends in too much. All right, so I'm going to restitch that bee body. I've already stitched it, and so it's onto the wing. So I'm just going to hit my up arrow, and that will take me back to this little bee body. All right, let's try it in this brighter yellow and see what happens. So I just restitched the bee. I think it looks better. It doesn't look really much different than the outlining that I used, so I probably could have just used that same buttercup color. So I think it stands out a little bit better. Not, not great, but better than it was. All right, so let's move on to the wings, and then we'll start the flowers. So I just got done stitching the leaves and the stems, and I love these leaves. They're not solid filled. I really like them. But I chose to use this Floriani color and this for the stem. And on my thread list for, I believe this was thread 7 for the leaves, I have 2 colors listed. I have celery and this Floriani, and they're really not the same color. And I probably should have picked the celery. It was probably, more like green leaves and the green stem. This one has a little bit more blue in it. I like it. I love this color. I think next time there is a stem and leaves, I'm going to try the celery. I wasn't sure if it was going to be a little too light. I love the way this turned out, but I think next time I'm going to try that and see what I like. And maybe throughout the quilt, I might do some leaves with this bluer green and some leaves with the celery, just to, have a little bit of variation. But anyways, that's, I do have these 2 listed as thread 7, so you can pick either. All right, let's go on to the flowers. done stitching the block, and I am again going to skip the crosshairs. So if you want to use those crosshairs to help line up when you are trimming, you would just put a color that you can see for the crosshairs. I am done, so I'm just going to go home and cancel. All right, let's look at this block. I love this block, and let me tell you some of the things that I noticed about stitching this out and some of the things that I might change if I were to do this again. Now, the first is that the decorative outlining for the flag, I love. It's kind of like a chevron look. I can see, you know, a little bit of the white fabric from behind. There's a lot of stitches in there, but, you know, overall that looks great. I did notice that there was one, you know, little spot that didn't get covered with the star, but, and this one kind of got misshapen, but I mean, you look at it overall and you can tell it's, you know, stars on a flag. The other thing that I noticed is that my heart did not stitch centered in my beehive. And of course, it started over here, and I mean, I didn't know. On the screen it looks fine, and it did some of this, which I love. You know, again, it's kind of a lacy looking stitch. And then by the time it got around here and I realized that those are not equal distances, you know, it was too late. These are so dense. I mean, I couldn't have taken it out. I don't know what I would have done different. My hoop didn't get bumped or anything because all of the rest of the things that stitched after are where they need to be. They're not, you know, for example, like this center isn't skewed off, or so I'm not sure what happened with that. I'm not going to worry about it. I think in the scheme of things, it's going to be fine. I think I say that a lot. You might hear that in my videos. In the scheme of things, once this is in a quilt, all these little things that you notice super close up or while you're stitching, I think aren't really going to be that noticeable. Now, again, the few things that I would change, really only I think one is I probably would have used that greener thread for the leaves. They look great though, and I love the flowers. Look at the centers of those flowers. It just blows me away. It's incredible, the detail of the little petals. I love this. Now, one thing I do want to note that running through this whole quilt are these stars. I'm not really sure what they're called. Are they called sawtooth stars in quilting? I'm not really sure. But this you will see in every block. So we first have all of our corner blocks, which of course have this exact star. Now they're not all the exact same, you know, fills inside, but it's this star. And so we have all the corner stars that have that star. From our first block, we have that star in the center of all the flowers. And every block on the main part of the quilt will have this star somewhere. And that's, I think, kind of a uniting design that goes through, and I really like that. I love this block. Now, I think I'm going to trim off the excess stabilizer to probably about the same, you know, as the, whoops, look at those pins, as the fabric, because I've got, you know, quite a bit of fabric and batting to take off. And so I'm just going to trim this just to get all this excess off. The first flower block that I did, it has not trimmed to size. It hasn't been pressed. I did remove all of the batting and stabilizer, but I think from now on, I am just going to leave the stabilizer and the batting attached. Once I have, again, all of the blocks stitched, then I'm going to come back and do those all together. So I'm not even going to take out the basting again. I'm just going to leave it as is. I'm going to set it on this little tray until I can find a better option, or that may be what I do the whole time. And just keep this with all of my supplies. And then here are the stars. All right, So that's our second main block done. Let's start our third.